A few months from now, India will become the world's youngest country. The average age will be 29. 64% of India's population is in the working age bracket, and one of their biggest fears, heart diseases.
While 25% of the deaths are in less than 40, we also know that heart disease is rising in the young individuals. It's grown, actually, if in the last 10 years, it's grown 200% in less than 40 years of age. Now, when we think that India, half the Indian population is young, one worries to think that 10 years and 15 years from now, as this menace of heart disease and heart attack grows, we would actually have doubled or tripled our rate of heart attacks in the next 15-20 years. So yes, it is extremely worrying.
Cardiovascular diseases are the world's biggest killer. 1 in 10 between the age of 30 to 70 dies from heart-related ailments. 17.5 million deaths per year are caused by cardiovascular diseases. 31% of all deaths are from cardiovascular diseases. In India, a largely young demographic by 2020 offers us an unprecedented edge that economists believe could add a significant 2% to the GDP growth rate. But for this to become a reality, the health of this working population is a priority, and we need to fight the menace of heart ailments.
When you talk about economy, people have to take time off, people could be disabled, people have to take time off work. All those impact late recovery, and all those do impact the finance, the economics of the country. Not just the economics of the individual himself who's got to take care of the family, but economics of the country. So you're absolutely right.
But why should the young fear? Aren't heart diseases something for the old and aged to worry about? Not anymore. Increasing work stress and sedentary habits have led to a generation afflicted by heart diseases in their youth and middle age.
If the person goes into shock, then there are pumps which actually support the heart for a period of 4 to 5 days for the heart to recover, and the person gradually improves, can have an angioplasty, go home. But what does it come at a cost? So a person has a heart attack and has an angioplasty with a stent implantation, his bill could be immediately 2 lakhs. So he's walked off the street, he's been fine till yesterday, and he says, oh, I've got a chest discomfort. He comes into the hospital, and the first thing he hears is to treat you and get you better, you've got to have an angioplasty which may cost you anything between 1 lakh and 2 lakhs. And he says, but I haven't got the money. Now this is where the greatest importance has been the third-party payer.
Dinesh Batra is 45 years old. He's a businessman. He had his first heart attack when he was 39. The reason? Obesity. His attack lasted over 2 days. When he finally got to the hospital, they implanted a stent on the first day and then another one on the second day.
Previous night that we all were together and we just had gone for a movie. So, and we just had a brilliant time, and we were looking ahead for a vacation. So we were planning for a vacation. And then suddenly, like around morning 10 or 11, he started saying, I'm feeling a little uneasy. So then he started working on his own things, but he just said that he was a little uneasy. So I just took it, okay, maybe he's a little uneasy because maybe we've had something from outside last night, so that's hurting him. But later on, he didn't tell me, but he consulted his own sister-in-law, who's a doctor as well. So he kept her posted that these things are happening with me. So then in the second call, like around 2:30 in the afternoon, then she suddenly called me and she said that rush bhaiya to the nearest nursing home. So I said, why? What happened? So then she told me that bhaiya has some heart problem. I'm very sure of that. So then we just took him to the nearest nursing home, and then she reached there and she got the basic test done, what she wanted to do for a basic heart checkup. So she got the test and she said, of course it's a heart attack, so let's rush him to Escorts. It was really tough. It was just like emotionally, yes, it was too much for me. So then of course things were sorted out. By 7:30 it was decided, yes, we have to have an angioplasty. So there are two or three major arteries blocked, but then they were taking care of one at that time, which was 90% blocked.
And then the second angioplasty happened in the next 2 years. Dinesh had gone for a routine checkup and the doctor was convinced that his patient needed another intervention.
Yeah, it was a complete shock to me, and when it started at night, I was confused whether it is a gastric thing or what it is actually. So then during the night I was very uncomfortable. I was not able to sleep. I kept roaming here and there, and then I came down, and the next morning I went for a meeting also. Then after the meeting finished, I was feeling very uncomfortable. It was a lot of chest pain, sweating was happening, breathlessness was there. I live at the second floor, so it was like I was not able to climb the stairs properly. So I felt something is wrong. So I went to Fortis Escorts Hospital, as this was the nearest hospital available in our vicinity. In the first incident it was around like 7 lakh rupees, and the next one it was around 4 to 5 lakhs, which I remember. I think it should be mandatory for everybody to take medical insurance from young age itself. I took the family insurance policy. Even my son, who is 10 years old, he is covered under that policy. My wife, everybody is covered under that policy. Though they have been keeping fit by the grace of the God, but still in case of any requirement, everybody is covered in my family. And I would always recommend anybody and everybody to have medical insurance. For whatever amount they could invest, they should go for this.
As incidents of heart attacks and other heart-related diseases increase, one of the biggest concerns for people is their insurance coverage.
The typical need for insurance is because you're not sure of what's going to happen in your life. If you're very sure about it, then you don't require insurance. Then you can plan things and know it can go well. But you're not sure what can go wrong in your life. The difference between having an insurance and not having insurance is huge, because let's imagine if you fall seriously ill, that will cost you about 10 to 15 lakh rupees. And if you don't have that money with you ready, then you have to mortgage your house or sell jewelry or take a loan or pay interest on top of that, and it starts multiplying and puts you into a negative cycle in life. If you have an insurance for which you hardly pay any amount compared to the kind of money you spend on dinners outside with your friend, if things go wrong, it really helps you. So it's very, very critical, because not only it gives you dignity, you don't have to worry about taking money from anybody, but also ensure that you get the best treatment in the best hospital in the town you live in, from the best doctors, because you can afford that. I think that is why insurance is very, very critical to have in one's life. When you look at critical illnesses, these are big illnesses that would be there, which would be affecting you, and they cost a lot of money. A cancer may cost you 30-40 lakh rupees. A heart attack today would cost you about 8 to 10 lakh rupees. So these are specific illnesses we define, about 20-25 of them. On that basis, you can decide that okay, this is what I want. I want for my major illnesses to be there. But still, I would strongly recommend take a small base cover which covers everything, a top up on that, and one critical illness that would more or less broadly cover all that you would be requiring for a long period of time.
The greatest importance has been the third party payer. In that short time period where he can't afford it, or he may not be able to get the money, at least he's able to have the immediate treatment. And time is muscle. We cannot delay that treatment. The longer we delay the treatment, the more the heart muscle dies, the worse is the outcome, and he'll live with a damaged heart, and his life would be shortened, and he may not even survive it. So our attempt is, as fast as possible, take him to the cath lab, open his artery. His concern at that time is, but where do I get this money from? I'm speaking to my father, I'm speaking to my brother, I'm speaking to my relative, I'm speaking to my doctor, and here the doctor is saying, gosh, as soon as we get you there, we need to open your artery up.